So I've never actually had a chance to explain all of my camera gear and setup that I like carry with me all around the world everywhere I go. So this is my camera gear. So before we get into it, let me explain first the camera that I'm shooting on right now. It is the Sony a6500. This is my main camera that I take with me, my one that I use all day, every day, pretty much. On top of it, you'll see that I have a broken Rode mic that I broke and I just taped together with one of Hannah's headbands. And on it right now, I've got the wide. It is the 12 to 18 millimeter wide angle lens, which is cool for vlogging because like when I zoom it out like this, you can kind of see what's around me and it gives like a good impression without me having to explain where I am. Gives a good feeling of where I am in the moment. That is my main camera that I use with me as my number one. So that's the body, the Sony a6500. I highly recommend it, but there's so many options out there. I don't really know what else. I'm no tech guru. That's just what I use. So this tripod, the way that I always stand it up, if you ever seen me put the camera down and talk to it, I use this tripod. It's been like the most handiest thing that I have. In fact, I had a bigger one, but I downgraded and I brought the smaller one, though sometimes this is as tight as it can go and I can still move this. So depending on how heavy your camera is, you might want the like bigger version, but it's important that you get the Joby brand of this. I've bought a few versions off like AliExpress just to be a tight ass, and these things get really, really loose. So you want them tight so that you can just drop it down and quickly set up your tripod. Otherwise, if they're really loose and they keep popping out, they're a pain in the butt. But these are fantastic. Little selfie stick things, tripod, definitely a go-to. If you don't have one, they're like $50 US or $40 US or something, I don't even know. The setup that I use is really quite basic actually. I try to keep it as simple as possible. I try not to carry anything that I'm not going to use on like a daily basis, or at least every week if I'm like vlogging every day. So first let's just talk about lenses. Now I have 3 lenses that I use. In fact, I just got one more. So I had 2. I've officially now just got 3. The one that you're watching on now is the wide angle 10 to 18 millimeter wide angle lens. The second one is this one. It is a 18 to 35 millimeter Sigma Art lens. Now you have to get an adapter to make it work with my Sony because it's a Sigma lens. So there's like this little adapter I put on there to make this work on the camera. But this is a great lens. It gives like the blurry background. It makes everything look very, very cool and I don't know, cinematic or whatever you want to call it. I don't really know. I'm no videographer. I just like making cool videos. And then what I did just get is this. Now this, I know, it's a beast. I was surprised how big it was when I ordered it. This has the adapter on it to make it work with the camera because this is another Sigma lens, 70 to 200 millimeters, and it has an f-stop of 2.8, which means that you can zoom in quite far and it has like that blurry background you know, look to it. And yeah, all you techie guys that are listening to me talk, I really don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to tech stuff. I like what I saw when I looked in this lens, so this is my beast. But look at what it looks like on the camera. Look at it. It's an absolute beast. Like, this is a weapon. You could do some damage with it. This thing. Of course, the tripod ain't gonna hold up with that kind of weight. But look at the size of it. See, with the adapter on the front. Oh, and it came with these extra add-ons. Look at that. So I don't know why they expect you to do this, but you know, to put that on top, it's just ridiculous. I mean, that's crazy. But you know, it is a good lens, and I'll probably use this at least once every vlog, I hope. So we'll see. I'll try to get good use out of it, but I think I'm just going to throw this part away because I don't think I'll use it. Like, that is long enough, if you ask me. And I kind of like it. This is to stop, for those of you that are wondering, it's to stop like the glare of the sun coming in. But I like it when you get that like sun flare on the lens. It looks cool in the videos. So anyway, that's the newest addition to the family, which I'm excited about and interested to see if I get some good use out of it over the coming months. But that's not the only camera that I have. I do have this Canon G7X, which is like the old original version. I think there's a number 2 version. I've had this for years, but it's a good camera to take out sometimes if I want to be inconspicuous or like have this in my pocket. It's just a standard point and shoot camera. It has a good zoom. I took this right through India. It was great, except there's a whole lot of like dust behind the lens that I can't get out, and they said the only way to do that is if I replace the whole top. That's a bit of a downfall, but I heard that the G7X2 is a very good camera. Otherwise, there's a Sony camera that's like a little bit better than this as well, I believe. But but it's good for selfies as well, because then I can do, like, you can pull up the screen like this and you can see yourself talk to the camera if that's what you're into. But yes, Canon G7X, I use this on the odd occasion. Then for action sports, of course, I have a GoPro. Now, most people, what's interesting about GoPro is like they're really good at advertising, and a lot of people ask me like, oh, I'm about to go traveling, I'm about to go do a trip around the world, should I buy a GoPro and film it? I think you should definitely film your trip, but with a GoPro is like, this is an action sports camera. It's like always got that wide angle like this. You're looking at me right now in a wide angle, and this is what GoPro's fixed at. The newer one, this is a 5, has some settings to make it linear and just change the view like this, I'm guessing, where it's not as wide and spread out, but it's hard if you want to take a photo of something far away. You can't zoom in and do that. So if you're traveling and you have a couple of $100 you want to spend on a camera and you want to take a trip overseas, I recommend buying something like the Canon G7X or like a Sony version of a point and shoot camera that you can carry with you. You can zoom in, you can zoom out far enough to, if you want to make vlogs or something, you can do all that, because this really it has a limited use. I mainly use it for time lapses. I use it if I go surfing. If we're in a car, I use the suction mount to like stick it on the windscreen, and then you can just like time lapse yourself driving and things like that. So GoPros are good, but I use it only for a few specific things, and I don't really use it outside of that. So these are the main connections that I use with my GoPro. I have the suction mount, this little tripod thing. I do have stickers that I stick on my surfboard so that I can leave it there, like when I go surfing, I can clip it to my board, but you can't take those stickers off, so if you hire a board or something, the stickers are gone. Then the last thing that I use with my GoPro is this. It's the Fayutech G5 stabilizer. So you clip the GoPro in there and it steadies it. In fact, I'll do it so you can see. See, so you strap the GoPro on like that, and then you turn it on, boom, and there we go. So it stabilizes the camera so that when you shoot and make videos and you're walking along, it keeps it nice and smooth, and it makes your footage be like, and look real cinematic. Well, that's the goal anyway. So it works well. It's like splash proof. I do like this thing. I don't use it as often as I should, but I think it's just because it's like, you have to have a specific use for it. So we're going to the snow soon, going to France. I'll definitely be taking this, and I'll be using it while we're on the snow, because I know that I'll be able to get nice steady shots. But I do like it. All of this stuff will be linked below, so you can have a good look at this exact model in further detail and how much it costs and stuff if you want. Next is the last camera that I have, and that is my drone. Now drones are like blown up in popularity lately, and for good reason. Like, drone footage is awesome. I love my drone. I brought the Mavic, the DJI Mavic, which is again linked below, and it's been amazing. Like, you don't have to, some people think, oh, is it really hard to fly a drone? I think if you buy like cheap drones, they're hard to fly because they're not balanced properly or something. I don't know. I haven't really flown a cheap drone. I brought this on a whim, and it's been fantastic. Like, you turn it on, the thing lifts up and it hovers in place until you kind of sort yourself out. I've flown it in really windy conditions, off the edge of cliffs and things like that. It's been fine, no worries. I haven't lost it yet. Crashed it once, that's just because I took off on a moving boat, and then I had to like grab it out of the air before it chopped everyone's heads off. But other than that, it's been fantastic. I do recommend, if you're buying a drone, pay a little bit more to get the Fly More combo, which means you get like 2 extra batteries, and you get this charging hub as well that you can charge all 3 batteries, because one lasts like 25 minutes, and if you're out doing something cool all day and you're on a mission, then you kind of want to use multiple batteries. So I do recommend getting more batteries. The cool thing also is it all fits inside this bag with 3 batteries, so it's very small and great for travel. I do also have these polarizing filters. So these are like sunglasses for your drone. You know when you put sunglasses on and like everything looks like a little bit crisper and the colors kind of pop? These, they do the exact same thing. And there's 3 of them that just come in different shades of like darkness, I guess. But they work well, and they make the footage look extra crispy and fresh. Now, since we're off the topic of cameras, because we've covered all cameras, headphones. I've had these Bose headphones for, I would say, 2.5 years now, maybe more. They've been fantastic for flights, things like that. They're the noise cancelling ones, so when you turn it on, it kind of like goes and it locks the sound out. I think it cost me a good few $100s when I brought it, and I was like, do I really want to buy these? It's been a fantastic investment, highly recommended. Also, have these little wireless headphones. I just got them for working out. I like them so far, except you've got to keep charging them, so that's the only problem. For my computer, I have the latest 15-inch MacBook Pro with the touch bar. I just got it because I thought the touch bar looked fancy and I thought it might help with video editing, which I do use a lot to edit videos. However, for the first 3 years of my travels, I had it was a 2013 MacBook Air, the cheapest one that I could buy, like the smallest. It was the cheapest Mac that they had, and I edited videos. I've worked on it full time, editing videos, editing photos, doing all that jazz for 3 years without a worry. It was slow compared to this. When after I purchased this, I realized how slow that was, but it did the job. So you don't have to go out and buy all the most expensive equipment if you're wanting to, create videos or things for yourself. Or especially like work online if you're not doing video editing, because the cheapest Macs, and I know a lot of cheap PCs do really, really good jobs. For me, I just brought this and I upgraded because after 3 years, I decided to go for the best computer that I could get versus the cheapest, because I know how long the last one lasted, so I'm hoping this does the same. Now, hard drives. I have, look at this. This is out of control. 1 terabyte, 1 terabyte, 1 terabyte, 2, 4, 4, 4. And then 4. Yes, I do travel with all of these things. They're quite heavy and it does make no sense. However, I keep a backup back home of all my footage. We've been away for almost a year now, so like 4 of these hard drives are new and they're full of stuff from this year. So when I get home, and they're full of a backup from this year. So every time I film something and I get a terabyte worth of footage, I'll back it up onto another hard drive. So then I end up with a lot of them, but I just don't want to lose my footage. Now, I always buy Western Digital hard drives. There's like 2 main brands. Well, there's a few now, I don't know. But the 2 main brands that I saw when I first started buying them was Western Digital and Seagate. I have always brought Western Digital. I haven't really had a problem with them. And then my video guy had a Seagate hard drive, which after one of these started making funny noises, he decided to back up and start using the Seagate one. Well, that, after a week of use, decided to really crap itself, and we've lost like a bunch of footage. So from my experience, I always go Western Digital, and I won't go Seagate anymore, because my one experience with them, I lost like a good a week and a half worth of footage, and I don't want to do that again. But when I go home, I'm going to buy like a big hard drive, load it all up, and then I'll delete all of the stuff off these once I've put it on there, and then I'll only take a couple of hard drives with me if I want any stuff to use past footage to create more videos. With the latest laptop, by the way, you do need these dongles, so I've had to buy like these adapters to go into the USBs and things like this, so that it can read memory cards with all of my footage and data on it. So that's a little bit of annoying, just having all of these extra bits and pieces around, but it's something that you have to do, and to be fair, it's not that big of a deal. Apart from that, the only extras that I have is like a power bank that I use to charge my like my phone and stuff. I did just get the iPhone 8 because my iPhone 6 died after I ran it flat. It wouldn't charge again, so I brought the iPhone 8 because I didn't really want the 10, and it's just like any other iPhone. I don't really see the difference in like the fast ones and the super fast ones. They're all fast enough for me. But anyway, that is my gear list. Yeah, there's like a lot of gadgets. With a lot of gadgets comes a lot of cords. So here is like all of my charging kit. What I try and do when it comes to charging is like, I'll buy a USB and then I'll take everything off that, and then I'll charge everything off that. I know it's a mess, but that's just sometimes how you've got to do it. Anyway, I hope that gives you some ideas and some cool, I don't know, inspiration for camera gear or whatever. I know I'm not really a techie guy, so I don't know all the specs and details and what is the best and what is the worst. This is just what I use. It works really well for me. And also, any of the stuff that I've talked about in this video, I'll link it below this video. I'll go to worldnate.com/shop, and I'll link it in there to the exact same products that I have, so you can go and check out all the prices and things and how much it's going to cost for you if you want them. Now, they all are affiliate links at no extra cost to you. If you do decide to buy something, please go through my link. It helps me, earn a bit of money so I can keep keep traveling and making more videos and buying more camera gear like this, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I appreciate that. And I hope you enjoy that tech review. And I will see you in the next video. Ew.